Once the rod's out, welcome to, without doubt, the greatest Crucian lake that has ever been, Johnson's Lake in Surrey, where the true Crucian, the home of true Crucians. And one of the sad facts about Crucians is they're one of the rarest fish now, and probably getting rarer by the minute, which hopefully the new society that's been set up are gonna change. Certainly these have been here many, many years. These are true Crucians, and that's what I've come down to catch. You know, lots of 3-pounders, lots of 4-pounders out of this water in the past. A 314 was caught yesterday, and hopefully I'll be able to beat my 3.9 record, my personal best. If I could catch it for you today, that would be a real treat. Hopefully I'm going to show you methods. Hopefully we're going to catch a big fish that'll show you how to catch a big Crucian on one of your waters. What I'd like to talk about now is why I've set up in this swim. This is the most important decision in any day really, because let's face it, if you're in a swim full of fish, you're going to catch. If you're in a swim full of no fish, you ain't going to catch. So, you know, it's been a very important decision for me, and it's been a very difficult one actually, because when I first arrived on the lake, there were quite a few anglers, so I had to walk around and ask what they caught, and the normal area over that side, it's produced no Crucians. So what I decided to do was come round here where the wind had been blowing into. This is a southerly wind with a little bit of easting, which is not good, but it's basically a southern wind. And I thought this could maybe the area that would produce a few fish. So that's what I've done. And the chap just up there in the corner, he's actually caught a couple of Crucians. So looks like that might be the right decision. It isn't producing a lot of Crucians at the moment, it's producing tench, but at the end of the day, you know, use the facilities you've got, either the wind, rain, dull, sun, and especially anglers as well. If you've got a water like this with some good anglers, then don't be frightened to ask them, you know, have they seen fish? Have they caught fish, etc., you know, and then make your decision. Don't just, you know, on your way down to the venue in your car, decide where you're going to fish. Sometimes you can, because you know the time of year that particular swim will fish. But this water's been shut for 6 weeks, and nobody really knows where those big Crucians are at the moment. But I've made my decision here. Let's see if it's the right decision. That's a male tench. They grow half the size of females, but they fight twice as hard. I've had a few anglers say to me, how the hell do you make the perfect method mix? Well, I make mine with all pellets a lot of the time, especially when I'm using pellets as the bait. And it's so easy to make that fluffy mix that just sticks to the feeder so well. It's so easy, it's unbelievable. There's a mixture of 3 and 4 mil pellets, boiling water, just tip it over them, It's as easy as that. Just top it up to look, so the water's topped up, so it's right at the top of it, and then just leave it. 2 hours time, perfect. As soon as that's cool, it's perfect. And all you need to do is, as you go along, just keep fluffing it up. Just keep busting the pellets like that as you go along. And those will last all day. Just cover them with a towel or something like that so the direct heat can't dry them out. And you've got the perfect method mix. One of my favourite ways of catching big crucians, big tench, big bream, but certainly a method for using at night or when you're expecting quite long waits, then what I would do is I'd put a small boilie. You see, that's a small 12mm barrel. And then what I do is I've got the loop on the hook, special pellet bander, look, sort of open it up, put the boilie in like so, and it's banded. So that's it. If you look at this mould carefully, there's a small indentation there, which you drop the boilie into, and then you put the pellets that we've prepared on top like that, squash them in a little bit, then put a little bit sticking up above like that. Then what I do is I fold the line in and then put the feeder on top. And then what that actually does is get rid of all the line. So there's no line showing at all. It's all covered. Super presentation, look. Open it up, and then that lies on the bottom like that. And see the boilie there? The boilie's on the top there. He breaks down, he comes along, can't see the hook, pulls the boilie. Desi's got a photo. What I'm going to do now is start preparing for the evening in the dark, because I'm fishing at about 40 yards at the moment, and I'm having tench, but I'm not picking up crucians at the moment. But being no doubt these crucians will come in really close. There's still about 6 foot, 6 foot of water here, and they'll come right to the edge, literally half a rod length out. I've known them come even closer. But what I'm going to do now is slowly through the day, probably every couple of hours, I'm going to throw in a handful of ground bait and a few pellets. It'll be eaten by roach, rudd, probably some of the tench as well. The water's still fairly clear. The crucians and tench haven't fed really hard, so they haven't coloured the water up. So those crucians I don't expect to come in till just on dark. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to feed a little bit of food in for them, so when they come in they've got something to eat. And probably about 7 or 8 o'clock I shall put a bait over the top of this feed. It's worked in the past for me on a lot of waters, so let's do that. I'm going to put in a bit of ground bait. This is coconut flavoured ground bait, which I really rate. Very close, look, I'm only just sort of dropping it there. Very close, they'll come in really close. Couple of little balls. And then a handful of 4mm pellets. Well, half a handful. I'm going to do that every couple of hours, probably 3, maybe 4 times through the day. And then I'll probably step it up the last time, you know, sort of at 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock, I'll step the feed up, might put 3 balls in with 2 handfuls of pellet. And then when they come in, what I'll do is every fish I catch, I'll put another ball in and another half handful of pellets and just keep them going like that. In the past, I've had 4 and 5 crucians like that, really in close, yes, literally at the end of the rod tip. What I've done here is I've actually hair rigged a caster. They don't seem to be chasing around picking up bigger baits like the bigger pellet or the boilie. So what I've done is I'm going to change this to a single plastic caster which will stay all the time and resist, if you like, the attentions of small roach, rudd, all the smaller species, so there'll always be a bait near my feeder, and hopefully that will catch me my 3-pound crucian. So what I'm going to do now is, although I've got the caster, I'm still going to load it up with the crushed pellets and see if that small morsel will attract a big crucian. One of the delights of using the method is you can catch all kinds of species. You can catch big bream, big roach, and a big male tench like that. You can tell it's a male. Can you see the lumps on the side there and the big paddles? That's very typical of a male tench. The female's more dainty. She's got little fins compared to the male, and they fight like hell, as that one did. It ain't a crucian. In fact, if I caught a crucian this big, we'd be phoning the British record. But there you go, a beautiful fish. Beautiful, beautiful fish. Let's get it back. What I'm doing here is a simple tip. It's a common use practice in carp fishing. What I've done is I've tied a piece of red elastic there. That's the distance I'm fishing. And what I'm doing is I'm clipping into the reel spool clip. So I clip it up before I cast out, stops at that exact distance, then I unclip it, and then I put it onto the rest. Now, obviously if I have a fish, then I'll have to reel it in, cast out, and then reel it back till that red comes back again and put it on. You don't leave it in the clip, because what's going to happen, it'll pull the rod in. And then if you don't have a fish, re-clip it, reel back in. It's just making sure that your bait is going to the same spot every time. It's getting later on in the day now. It's around about 6 o'clock, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go on that bait that I've been putting there all day. You've seen me keep throwing in the ground bait and the pellet. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick one of these little rigs straight on top of it, waiting for those crucians to come in. Let's have a go. Just a rod length and a half out. Lovely. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's a Crucian. A beautiful fish. Oh, a beautiful fish. They only get bigger, they don't get better. Just have a weigh, see what she weighs. Oh crikey, she's what's that say? 311. Have a look at this for a fish. Look at the chunkiness of that. Look at her, babe. Is that a cracker? Look at her. It's called 25 tench, which I ain't moaning about, but this is what I've come for. I've come for a 3 pound Crucian, and we've gone well over. At 311, that to many, many people is a fish of a lifetime. And that's a new personal best for me. My personal best Crucian was 3.9. It's took a long time, and Johnson's Lake has produced this fish, 311. I'm over the moon with that fish. I really am. Let's get her back. There you go. Oh, one of my favourite fish. beautiful. How to do it. That's how to do it. Right on the last note. Can you believe that? Just about to pack up, just about to go, and I've had this fish. I've weighed it up and it's 3 pound 9 ounces. A beautiful, beautiful fish. Absolutely super. Look at that. Absolutely fabulous fish. So there it is, folks. As good as it gets. I've had a personal best Crucian at 3 pound 11 ounces. I've had this one at 3 pound 9 ounces. The best 2 Crucians I've had in my life. Absolutely incredible. And hopefully I've showed you a method that you can go to your local water and perhaps get a personal best Crucian like myself. Let's put it back.